Hi guys! We are talking about, but let's watch this video first.
If you've been the target of a smear campaign or you've been isolated, let me try to help you shift your perspective on smear campaigns. And watch this video until the very end so you can make sense of what I'm trying to say. You need to start seeing smear campaigns as a blessing, because the people who are smearing you are now being transparent with you. You have been given a gift to see how these people really feel about you. It's no longer being hidden. Their hate and their secret animosity towards you that was brewing inside of them has now been brought to the surface. Take it as a blessing that the people who do not like you but stuck around and pretended like they did have unmasked themselves, and they've revealed to you their plans against you. You need to see it like you've been given the opportunity to make the determination to shift your attention, to shift your reality. Because if they didn't reveal themselves to you, you would still be there. You would still be where you don't belong. And you need to ask yourself honestly, is that where you want to be? Do you want to be where you don't belong? Is that where you want to stay? You need to understand that if you're being pushed out, you're being pushed towards where you're meant to be. If these people who are smearing you actually loved you, if they respected you, if they valued you, they wouldn't be doing that. You need to truly understand what it means to be valued. There is a difference between people recognizing that you provide value and they're benefiting off of that value versus people actually valuing you as a person. People can benefit off of the value that you provide, yet not value you as a person. So I always advise people, and I'm going to give you this advice for free. When you provide value, you better check first your level of importance to them. Now, I've gotten so many messages about this, and I've also been on a few phone calls with women who have experienced smear campaigns, either from work, in friend groups, or in their families. And from what I've gathered, what really hurts the most is people believing the smear campaign. I'm here to tell you that you should also see this as a blessing. You're being made to witness who is willing to believe it. People who are believing it want to believe it, especially if they haven't heard your side of the story. They will believe whatever narrative is being sold to them, and they run with it because they want to. The people who won't be quick to believe a smear campaign are independent thinkers. It takes a lot to make an independent thinker believe something. You're probably wondering, well, how do I know someone's an independent thinker? They don't listen to gossip. It's just that simple. Independent thinkers aren't easily convinced because they want all the facts. They don't only listen to one side of the story. They want to hear every side of the story because an independent thinker knows that there's more than one side to every story. They're not quick to listen to gossip because they have this need to gather information in order to make a judgment. Independent thinkers are also aware of manipulation, and they're not easily manipulated, which is why they usually don't jump to take sides right away, unless they're biased or they're choosing to be biased, because independent thinkers are also aware that we all have conscious and unconscious biases. Those are the ones who won't be quick to believe just anything. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of independent thinkers out here. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just saying that this is the reality. The reason smear campaigns work is because most people aren't independent thinkers. Most people are followers. They're not leaders. Again, I'm not saying that to be rude. That's just the reality of it. And it's not a bad thing. Not everybody is meant to be a leader. Most people, the average person, is a follower. And followers are more susceptible to twisted narratives. And it's not their fault. Manipulative and toxic people know this, which is why they know it works. They know how to do it. Manipulators know how to manipulate. It's just that simple. So shift your attention. Shift your reality. I know that it's painful, but sometimes we get stuck and we hold on to these people because we either want vengeance or we want people to see them for who they are. We want people to know the truth. That is keeping you stuck. What you need to do in order to move forward is to shift your perspective and shift your reality and know for a fact that you are being divinely guided. You're being divinely guided and forced to make that shift and to take that leap. I hope this helps. The inferior. Now, this is an envious individual who was much more dangerous as they adequately assess their shortcomings and weaknesses, which means they typically have a thorough assessment of how to accomplish things in spite of their inadequacies. When dealing with an envious individual who sees themselves as inferior to you, you must always be cautious when dealing with this person because they are one of the opponents who are capable of outthinking and outsmarting the majority of their targets. Since this person acknowledges they will not be able to beat you in the area they are envious of you in, what they will do is use others as a pawn to play into your demise or even influence you to partake in your own downfall. The purpose is to either replace you with themselves, or if they have assessed that may not be possible, they will simply invest in your demise. So as counterproductive as it sounds, whatever area the inferior is envious of you in is the very area you need to be most aware of because that is what they plan to or are already using against you. Now, the goal is not to rub it in the individual's face, but to be aware of what they're envious of for your own sake so you can protect it. No difference from a chessboard. The queen acknowledges all the other pieces play a significant role on the board and are very useful. But the king is the piece she always protects because it is the most valuable asset. The inferior is the envious individual who's very self-aware. So let's say, for example, that you're the object of envy. And when people are envious of you, they're going to compare themselves to you. And most of the time when envious people are making this comparison with you, they're looking for areas where they feel like they're better than you because they actually don't like to feel inferior than you. They want to feel superior. So they'll make comparisons like, oh, well, she curled her hair today. It doesn't even look good on her. Like, my hair looks better when I curl my hair. Oh, she's wearing that shade of lipstick. It don't even look good on her skin tone. It would look better on mine. They'll even take it as far as comparing your material items. So let's say that you have a hair straightener and it's just like a generic brand. They'll look at that and they'll be like, oh my God, like that hair straightener, I wouldn't even use it on mine. The straightener that I have, it's expensive, it's this brand, da 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 da, like mine is better. That is typically how an envious person will behave. So they'll make these comparisons, and the comparisons are not always accurate. It's almost like they're convincing themselves that they're better than you so that internally they can feel better about themselves and they can feel superior to you. However, an envious individual who is the inferior, they're too self-aware to live in Delulu. So if they're going to compare themselves to you, they can't help but make an accurate comparison. So if they notice that you're more talented, you're more beautiful, you're more influential, you're more stylish, or whatever it is that they're comparing, if they notice that you got it, they can't help but make a thorough assessment and thorough comparison because they're aware of themselves. They're aware of their own weaknesses and they're aware of their own shortcomings. They're self-aware enough to know when they cannot compete. Now, what makes this envious personality type dangerous is they're very smart. Because they're very aware of themselves and they're aware of their weaknesses, they know how to choose their battles. And because they're aware of their inferiority, if they're trying to sabotage you or orchestrate your downfall, they'll do it in very underhanded ways. Primarily, what they usually do is recruit other people to come up against you. So what they'll do is they'll plant thoughts and ideas in people so that people can turn against you. And the ways in which they plant these thoughts and ideas in other people is very slick. It's very manipulative and it's very subtle to where the people don't even detect what it is that they're doing because it comes off very innocent. People don't usually catch on to what it is this person is doing because they're playing their role very well. Now, when you're dealing with this envious type, you need to tread carefully because they play that weak and non-threatening role very well. So let's say, for example, that you hear from someone what it is this person has been saying about you. When that happens, usually our first initial response is to want to confront this person about it, right? But this envious type is very good at twisting the tables and manipulating the story to make you look like the bully because they really play that part very well. To protect yourself from this envious personality type, as mentioned in the book, figure out what it is they're envious of and protect that. Now, this is where it's also a blessing to come across people who are envious of you, because envious people will always point out to you what it is about you that makes you special, what it is about you that is valuable. Because sometimes we don't even see it ourselves. They actually teach you what it is about you that is special and valuable. So once you can figure out what it is they're envious of, it's like you're discovering something new about yourself because it may be something that you never noticed before or you didn't even think much of it. But in other people's eyes, they see it as something special. They see it as something valuable. They see it as something that's highly coveted. So once you figure out what it is they're envious of, become aware that that is where your greatness lies and you need to protect it, and at the same time turn your fucking shit up, because envious people see the potential that you don't. They see the greatness that you don't. That's why they try to sabotage. That's why they orchestrate your downfall. That's why they try to turn people against you, because they don't want your greatness to ever be fully realized. The next envious personality type we're going to go over in the next part is the accomplice.
We are talking about the smear campaign and that inferiority that she is talking about, or the envious ones. How is it related? It is related with the smear. You will experience that to that smear campaign. So that smear campaign is, it includes also the persecution of yourself from others, even from here, or here. Everything that will comes from ego, pride, that will come actually through yourself. You will experience those hell. You yourself will persecute yourself, then others will persecute you. It will add, it's the part of the awakening, the healing itself. So lucky for us, there are some that talking about and explaining and it's like guiding also. So, but if it's yourself, I will recommend you to always pray. Always pray to our Father God and build that faith and believe in Him that He is guiding you. Believe in that gift that He have given you. Believe that He is giving a strength that so that you can do it. And of course, this May will come. So that's mere. But always pray. The only thing that we can do is always pray. If you can already feel something that will make you look like or feel like life is going down, or I can say some, because sometimes it will affect the mental. And of course, connect with the natures. Always go there, smell the fresh air, connect your feet to the land, shower. Then I will recommend you gemstones also, because sometimes we forgot to do those things, but there is always the help of gemstones actually. I uh, I experienced it, so I recommend it. Sometimes I don't use it actually. There are difference in using gemstones with without using and with using it. So if you are not using it, most of my experiences, I feel like the laziness, but more different kind of a very strong lazy energy, then some quite mental. It will affect here and here. Then your energy will go down. You don't know what to do. It's like that. So one time that I remember, I have already told maybe in this channel or the other channel that I remember to use one gemstones, any of my gemstones that I have. After a second or a minute, it's like my energy is uh, at least getting better. So there's really is why these gemstones are being invented by a Father God. So sometimes it will help us with our energy because gemstones has an energy so strong, quite strong also. So it give energy to us. And of course, shame process. The smear campaign, there's always a shaming also that you will experience to others. As they shame you, you will experience pitying self also. It's awakening also. So be careful in. I will always I advise you or make you. I forget the word. Make you always remember that. Always remember not to fall down with the hatred or hurt situation like Jezebel and the Lilith's energy or part because they are the daughters of hatred in hurt. So if you feel like going down on that energy, pray and always remember that forgiveness is better. Even though you experience wickedness to other people, you yourself volunteer to go through that step and unconditional freedom will be there. I don't know why some people really hard to do those kinds of forgiveness. Moving on, like that we always say, move on. I'm not there to judge anyone. But through my I'm not here to compare also myself to anyone because we are different. But when you are used to accept something and even though you are not going to say I forgive them, but you utter the word I accept that I'm experiencing these bad situations to others. I accept that I have to forgive them. I accept that I did a sin today. I accept that just the thing we accept. I accept. You will easily move on actually. Try it because I'm not just here to talk and talk and talk. I'm just talking also experiences through myself, through others, and their experiences that I heard, and connecting the teachings that I heard, then the visions that comes, then connecting it all together, then you will realize, yeah, it resonates. It that part has to do with this thing, with this experience, that pains and traumas that we experience has to do with who we are and why we are like this. Why sometimes people are like happy-go-lucky or kunda. What is the other word for the pity? I can say downfall part of life. And always there's a part of being observant and vigilant also. Those intuitions, this discernment. If you are not quite words, quite okay, we'll use that observant and vigilant, but there's a one word for them. Observant and vigilant on every situations. You will really fall down from incidents that are ourselves sometimes put on it. But of course, even though we will put ourselves from getting involved. Yeah, that's part. That's the word, involved to someone. There's always a part that the evil side will make a plot so that you will fall down at that part. But there's always quite a way God will help us, actually. Also, we didn't know that there's always a part that God will help us. So, protect your forehead with the words of God, His love, and always accept something and forgive someone. You're putting yourself in the freedom of despair. That's it, the word despair. Despair of life. So, let's do and conquer that smear campaign. I know in this healing, I conquered it, but it will come and come and come. Because pains and traumas, it was stored in our head. And if experienced to someone, it will trigger. Even though we know we accept and forgive it. But it will come. It's like a cycle that it will come to someone, it will come by itself, even though we are being alone and thinking sometimes. The despair of life. So let's be strong and always ask for the protection of God, then give that energy to fight the evil spirit world. Good luck to us. Let's all cut that smear campaign, that unending cycle also of life, because they are actually experiencing that in every story, even in the Bible. That's the smear campaign itself. Even persecution of Jesus Christ, that is the smear campaign. So let's do it. Let's cut that part. Um, and I'm going to add this one.
Nag-alok ng 1,000 piso si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy sa sino mang makakahula sa kanyang kinaroroonan. Nagbigay pa siya ng clue. Narito ang report.
Ako po muli si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy at marami pong nagtatanong kung saan ako ngayon. Marami ang nagtatanong kasi hindi daw nila nakikita ang aking mukha.
Ito ang bagong audio recording ng founder ng Kingdom of Jesus Christ na si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Kamakailan lang nang aminin niyang nagtatago siya dahil sa umano'y banta sa kanyang buhay. Hindi niya pa rin sinabi kung nasaan siya ngayon, pero kung sino raw ang makakahula, may matatanggap na premyo.
Palagi ninyong pagtatanong kung saan ako, bibigyan ko lang po kayo ng talinghaga kung saan ako. Isang puzzle na kung masolve po ninyo, ay bigyan ko kayo ng 1,000 pesos na reward.
Nagbigay pa ng clue si Kibuloy sa kanyang kinaroroonan.
Ito po ang talinghaga ko, Pakinggan po ninyo. Ako'y nakakubli, di kalayuan dito. Kuta ko'y puro bato, laksa-laksang pula at itim na langgam. Handang ipagtanggol ako sa mga manglulupig na mga tao, kanuman o kalahi ko, upang aking maitayo ang prinsipyong diwa, karangalan, kalayaan ng isang marangal na Pilipino na naisilang sa paanan ng matayog sa lahat na bundok apo. Sulong bayan ko, ipaglaban karapatan sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiil ang mamatay ng dahil sa iyo.
Kasabay niyan, binigyang diin ni Kibuloy na siya ang appointed son of God. Ganoon din daw sina dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte at Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Gayon din ang dalawang SMNI host.
Si Eric, appointed son of God to spread and inform the people about the evils of the CPP and PNDF. Kasama na rin ang appointed daughter of God na si Lorraine Badoy. Si Pangulong Duterte, appointed son of God to become president of our country for the time. Ganon din ang ating Pangulo ngayon. Itinalaga siya ng Diyos. Appointed son of God for his presidency in the time being.
Wala namang binanggit si Kibuloy kung dadalo ba siya sa pagdinig ng Senado sa March 5 kung saan pinasabpina na siya para sagutin ang mga aligasyon ng pang-aabuso, panggagahasa at sa pilitang pagkatrabaho umano ng kanilang mga miyembro. Nauna nang sinabi ni Kibuloy na hindi siya nagpapakita dahil gusto raw siyang ipapatay ng Administrasyong Marcos sa nakikipagsabuatan anya sa Amerika. Pinabulaanan at tinawanan lang yan ni Pangulong Marcos at nagsabing dapat nang humarap sa Senado at Kamara si Kibuloy.
One by one, it's them themselves are condemning themselves, giving the evidences. So they cannot anymore know how to further their plans. So they are making their stake plans, making it obvious, actually. Automatically, at the end, they themselves will give that evidence to themselves. They didn't know. So, people, it's already 2024. The dark is already the light is going to eat the dark already. Starting this 2024, as I've said, until the years that will come. Because all of their plans, their bad plans, their dark plans, is obvious today. Very obvious. I think even the other countries all over the world. I am seeing a lot of issues. Of course, some people posting it. If you constantly browse social medias, you will see and observant or vigilant on everyone's saying. There's always a hint that connected to every evil one's plan. They allow themselves for the evil spirit world, the evil spirit world, to hold them for that plan to destroy this earth and the soul of people. So are you going to allow it that evil spirit world will hold us and continue who you are, being an evil person? Because you are not actually the winner. You thought you are, but the evil spirit world is. Good luck if you still think what you are thinking or believe what you are believing. But one word is the evil spirit is winning through who you are, between who is good or who is bad. For those who are in the good side, I know it's very hard to fight and go with that light. Everything that you experience, the bad ones, words, the bad things that you experience, those pains and traumas, the wickedness that you experience from someone, put it as an inspiration to make you strong. Because that's the way that you will fall down from the evil plan of the evil spirit world. He will use everything to hold us, to conquer us, to make us suffer. And always our protection is God, in that prayer, in that faithful believe in Him. Even though we feel downfall, sufferings in life, because there's really an evil entity sucking us down, even though we did the work in ourselves to bring back us from hell. Don't allow yourself that even though you're experiencing hell in this earth, remember the spiritual world. When we die, what will happen? Where are we going? Straight from the pit of hell? Or at least roam around the spirit world, then ask God, then be born again? And let's not pray that we will not be the one of those souls that roam around, lost souls, and giving, I can say, best in the human world. I think it's hard. That part is hard also, even though we are in the spiritual world. more hell. Be better to be reincarnated again to fix that sins, right? Or be already angel in the sight of our Father God and help people that experiences persecution be their guardian angels, right? Going home with him is like it's better. So let's always pray and build more that faith in everything what that we do or the path in our life. Believe that he's always there beside us. And always thank him also for the miracles in our lives, simple miracle or gifts that he's going to give uh, by saving you something that will happen in life. Those guardian angels also sometimes they are the ones, excuse me, sometimes they are not being added on that gratitude. Sometimes we need to, of course, because I think they needed also a motivation for guiding us or helping us or being in our side as God is. But the number one is God, of course. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell notification, comment if you want, and share so I get my next videos.